Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
This is your home for everything not top six. Tired of your team being last on match of the day and not getting the flowers they deserve? Well, that's about to change. Tom, what do we have for listeners this week?
We've got the late show without the insufferable James Corden. Instead, we have the incredible Eddie Nketiah, Danny Welbeck, Eli Junior Kroupi all getting late goals to give their sides points. There's almost too much to talk about in this episode, so let's not waste any time. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good. I don't know how people are going to listen to us talk about stuff for this long, because it feels like it's going to be a long one no matter what, isn't it? I don't even want to edit this. We're going to have to listen. I'm going to have to listen to you talk for about an hour and a half. I'm going to have to listen to you talk for another hour and a half whilst I edit. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, mate. But nah, I'm only joking.
You love it, really.
There's so much good football actually to talk about. It's better than was it a few weeks ago where we had the boring week. So yeah, can't complain too much. How's everything going your end? How are you feeling about the news at West Ham?
Yeah, all good, man. Big weekend for West Ham. I was in Leeds for the weekend, so was a little bit tired the past couple of days at work, but I had a good weekend. Shout out my boys, Andy and Danny. But yeah, odd timing for West Ham.
Really odd timing, like
Graham Potter. But I say odd timing, but also very, very predictably West Ham under these owners.
Very West Ham. Why would you not do it straight after the Palace game and then give Nuno like the week? Because if he was ready to come in that quickly, it must have been like rumbling underneath and just like give the squad maybe a few days to be like, okay, we got a separation from one manager to another, rather than Potter's there probably doing I don't know what training West Ham do, but maybe doing training Friday and then Nuno's literally on Saturday, Sunday, and then it just seemed weird.
There you've already forgotten that West Ham aren't run as a circus by David Sullivan and Karen Brady. They were going to string out Graham Potter for the Everton and the Arsenal games, thinking that those would be two tough games for Nuno to come in and get any points from, so they didn't want to waste any sort of new manager bounce on that. And then apparently Nuno said to them he just wants to get started. It was possibly the reason why he didn't have any of his backroom staff. It was just made up of like the unders coaches and sort of people around the club that filled in for his backroom staff so far. But yeah, it's just it's a terrible look, but it's also, I think, it's almost been a positive because it's shown the wider football watching public, the media, etc., how much of a circus they run West Ham as. Like, they were more than happy to string Potter along, make him go through a week of training, a press conference where he got asked about all the memes of his face.
The press conference is the harsh bit, isn't it? It's like literally press conference Friday, and then straight away Saturday morning gone. Because I saw on my phone and I sent to a couple of West Ham mates and then you, and one of them was like, "Is this actually real? Like, have we really done it now?" It's crazy stuff.
Didn't surprise me at all. We all knew it was coming because it is the right move to have moved on from Potter. It just wasn't working, regardless of what some of the players have said that maybe it was harsh, that it wasn't translating what he wanted to do on the pitch. The players weren't responding. We were conceding far too many goals and not looking very good in attack either. So it's not like we were like really good at one end of the pitch. It was just all round really bad, and so Nuno's come in. I'm positive. Obviously, we'll go on to the match last night. I think like he's got a very good record at mostly at Wolves and Forest. Like if he can get us playing exciting counter-attacking football that Forest did, it's going to be a lot more defensive. But I think there were a lot of West Ham fans who really appreciated the early David Moyes days where we were defensive but really electric on the counter when we were reaching the European places. And if Nuno can get that sort of football going again, I think there'll be a lot of West Ham fans on his side rather than the later David Moyes stage where we were defensive, not exciting going forward and conceding goals sort of thing. So some things that I expect to see from Nuno are the defensive improvements. I'd love, on an individual level, maybe to see Fulkrug try and replicate Chris Wood a bit more. He probably needs to improve on his aerial duels, but like Nuno had big man up top, Chris Wood having his best ever season for Forest. If he can get something out of Fulkrug, then that would be great. Lucas Paqueta in the Morgan Gibbs White number 10 sort of like number 10 midfielder sort of role. Like I think Paqueta's a very, very talented player. If Nuno can get him playing consistently, then we've got a real threat link in the midfield and the attack. James Ward-Prowse is out, it seems like, from the off. Apparently Nuno had a conversation with him, and yeah, it's no surprise given that Ward-Prowse was on loan at Forest for the start of last season, made about 10 appearances, got a red card and 1 assist.
Forgot about that. I literally went out there.
And Nuno was like, nah, you can have him back, West Ham. So it's no surprise that he's come in and immediately was out of the squad, which I know a lot of West Ham fans would have been happy about because Graham Potter seemed to. I don't know whether James Ward-Prowse had some dirty business on Graham Potter because he just would not drop him when we've got Magasu came in and then even young Freddie Potts came on for the last half hour last night. So yeah, and then I'm also very excited to see what Bowen and Somerville can do because the Forest team last season, Alanga and Hudson-Odoi were such key threats for them. If we can keep Bowen and Somerville fit, then who knows, but we do kind of lack some depth in those positions, so keeping them fit is the big part if we're going to see a turnaround in the attacking sort of in the transition phases.
Yeah, I mean we'll touch on more later, but personally I still think you're fucked. But so take a break there and go into game reviews for the week.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, and we're back. So, Tom, where are we going to start this week? I think, once again, I know where we should start. We should start with another Palace win, shouldn't we?
We should, but do you want to explain why you weren't at the Palace game?
Yeah, I wasn't at the Palace game because I was working at the Women's Rugby World Cup for this weekend, and I went with my best mate who's a South London Scouser as well, so it was kind of bittersweet being there. And by the end of the game, I was intolerable, to say the least. Because I had a few beers after I finished working there, and yeah, I was a real piece of shit.
Yeah, I can picture that. It's easy to imagine.
Mate, 18 games unbeaten. I'm getting worse as this goes on. I understand why Arsenal fans and that are intolerable. It's because you just become a bit of a prick, really. I've just been giving it out to you these past few weeks, and it's getting worse each time we win another game. I generally feel a bit bad.
But no, it's unnatural to you. That's why.
But no, I think we battered them in the first half, which could have been 5-6-0 in all honesty. If Glasner being able to pick apart Liverpool's flaws that they've had throughout games, but kind of got away with it by getting these last minute winners or just having a bit too many good players to bring on later in games against teams. But yeah, I mean, we could have had 5-6-0, like I say. Kamada was absolutely outstanding in this game. Another player who I said to you when he first came to us, is similar to the Glasner stuff he brought up last week. I was like, is he actually a guy? And he got written off by a lot of Palace fans very early, well, not early doors, after about half of last season. I think game against City where we lost 5-1, or 5-2, sorry, where he's in the wrong for a foul on, I think it was Kevin De Bruyne, and then De Bruyne scores it. A lot of Palace fans have lost face, but ever since that game, he has been unreal for us. And in this game, I think it's his best game since the FA Cup final for us. He just bossed the show in midfield, and you've got Kamada who came on a free to us compared to Vert who went to Liverpool for 120 mil, and my mate who took my season ticket for a day says he's how have you paid 120 mil for that shower of shit? It's unbelievable. But yeah, on top of it, I really thought Liverpool were going to Liverpool us at the end there because we said they're going to screw us over. Looked like we'd been screwed with the Salah handball for the goal. There go. We can talk about that in a sec, but the pictures don't look good, let's be honest. But yeah, then we get the late goal in, I want to call it now Eddie time rather than Fergie or Slottage time. So yeah, and yeah, I mean, massive day in South London, only team unbeaten in the Premier League. I'll stop talking now because let's actually have some discussion on it. Yeah, how do you feel about it?
No, it was incredible. It was completely agree. First half especially, Liverpool just could not handle the Palace press. Konate was seeing ghosts.
Konate is really, really good at football. I've got to say that. He got made to look silly by Mateta time after time after time. And I just want to put that in there because the amount of Liverpool fans I talked to when Gahey was being like linked with them, and he was like, "Yeah, Gahey's definitely going on the bench. It's obviously Van Dijk and Konate starting." And I was just watching that like, "Fuck me, man! You people are deluded. Like, you're deluded by how good."
Yeah, I mean, Allison kept them in this game in the first
Big
half.
save after
Really.
big
Like,
save, wasn't it? Like, fair
yeah,
enough to Allison. Like, I know there was a debate between who was better, out of Allison and Edison for a while, but
yeah,
I've kind of always had it on Allison because he's a genuinely good shot stopper.
yeah. He absolutely kept Liverpool in this, I'm very glad that at the end of the day, it didn't come back to bite you because, as you said, like when Chiesa gets that goal, it feels like, oh no, are Liverpool gonna do like what they've been doing for the first few weeks of the season, where like they've been defensively open, and but Palace hadn't put them away at that point, and then they get their late goal, and then it's like, all right, are they gonna get another? Like, is this how the script is gonna go? But like the scenes when Nketiah scores, the fact that it's a minute after like what should have been played, and all the Liverpool fans are crying, and Slot's like going right in the face of the fourth official. It's just like chef's
It
kiss.
really is, isn't it?
Yes, give me more. I want to see every angle of all the meltdowns.
Mate, I've been so lucky to be there for like some massive days at Selhurst Park. I've always put Cristamble up there as one of the best ones ever. But this was one I was massively gutted not to be there for. And yeah, my mate who took my season ticket definitely rubbed it in when I saw him later that evening that I wasn't there for it. But
Yeah, I
I,
mean, we've got to mention Ismaila Sarr as well, 3-3 against Liverpool. Like, this was obviously a very, very easy one, but
yeah,
like just right place, right time,
I mean,
and
it's still a good finish on him on the volley, like, well, half
Mhm.
volley almost, to actually bang it past the keeper. You see enough people sky those. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, Pino, who I've really enjoyed when he's on the ball this season, he can't finish his dinner so far. Like, I hope he's going to find his like shooting boots at some point. But yeah, apart from, but on the other 10, like Zaha is just so happy he was back from injury for this game. If he wasn't going to Afcon, I'd be over the moon with the rest of our season. But I do think we'll struggle once he's gone because he can really pick apart, well, the top six teams really well by getting in behind, or anyone that's willing to go on the attack. He gets in behind them and causes so much trouble. It's still mental that we have him. Like, when I look how good he is sometimes. Like, no one expected. I thought he was washed after he left Watford to go to Marseille, and then since then it was just like, oh, we really getting him in, and he's just been outstanding for us since the beginning of last season.
Yeah, yeah, he's been unreal, and a couple big saves from Henderson as well. Like sort of when it was, I think it was when it was 1-0, sort of keeping that lead, and then also Daniel Munoz, just an absolute dog on the right side, just like hounding up and down the pitch, like one of the most enjoyable players to watch in the league. Just he's got energy for days and that.
Mate, I want to focus on our left back Tyreek shutting Mo Salah down again. Like, it's just he doesn't get the praise he deserves because obviously he's not that good at attacking. But Tyreek Mitchell, man, he is just unreal for us at the back.
He seems to be coming on year. Like I know that like he came out and it was like quite impressive, like as a sort of one-on-one defender, like Palace can produce with their fullbacks. But it seems like year on year he's got better, and even recently, like even in this game, he almost got an assist for Munoz when he like pulled one back, and obviously scored against West Ham. So he's put in. He may not be all there as an attacker, but with the amount of quality he's got as a defender, and he's putting in little bits of attacking moments, like, yeah, I mean, he's what must be 24, 25.
Yeah, I reckon about that. He can't be too. Let me check that one. I reckon he's about 24, 25, like you say.
Mm. But yeah, no, he's been excellent. I mean, this was obviously a real team effort. You mentioned Kamada, like Wharton, just like, yeah, looking on track for that prediction you made where he might go in January.
Yeah. I'm worried about Wharton going. Yeah, Ty was 26. So yeah, we've got a lot of years left of him, hopefully. He's just one of those people
Mhm.
that's going to like stay at that level, hopefully get better. But we know what we're going to get from him every game. Like you said with Henderson as well. It's just we expect big saves from him now. I mean, last thing I want to talk. Let's talk about that handball VAR decision because I'm sorry. There's no. Were you saying it doesn't touch his hand? And it
Yeah,
does.
I'm not 100% certain it touches his hand. Like, I'm sure if it was against West Ham, I would be crying out for it, but I just don't know if it touches his hand. Like,
But
and I just don't think you see enough of like the like if you still it as a still image, then yeah, it looks like it touches his
It
hand
looks like he's
by certain angles.
it looks like
But
he's
when it's
sandbagging the
moving,
ball in basketball.
I don't see the ball move
But
like after it, like
what's
around
his
that point. So like it's like, all right, well, if it's a fingernail, then okay.
yeah, but what's his hand doing up there to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, God knows. He's probably looking for a penalty and flinging his arms in
Yeah,
the
that's
air or
exactly what he's
something.
doing. And then it puts off Richards, who's then deflected the header off his afro to Chiesa to tap it in. Like, just I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'm not happy about that, but it doesn't matter now. I think if we hadn't won, I'd be probably raging just because it'd
Yeah,
be Liverpool
if it
screwing
had
us.
stayed 1-1, I could have understood. We could have debated it more, but thankfully it didn't matter. Palace went, is it 18 or 19
18
unbeaten?
unbeaten all
18
competitions
unbeaten.
now. So yeah,
That's
and
far and away the longest in Europe's top five as well. I think the next closest is someone in Serie A at like 13, and then like Dortmund and Bayern are on about 10, I think, or something. So yeah,
it's
leading the way.
mate, it's crazy. I was saying to my mate I went to the FA Cup final with that we're still starting that Tootings Weatherspoons before the game. We both had cardiac arrests. We both had cardiac arrests after eating our fry-ups, and yeah, we're living in a simulation now. And that's all I can think. Like it just doesn't seem real anymore. I mean, it will come crashing down eventually for us, but going Everton away on Sunday and hoping we can pick up, well, just not lose there. The game I'm worried about is EFL Cup against Liverpool on a Wednesday night in Anfield. I think that's where if the run keeps going after Dinamo Kiev and everything this week, yeah, I can see that's where it ends. But that's probably enough about me lording how good Palace are. Let's move on to another game and have a bit more of a discussion about something.
Yeah, let's do it. I think let's go to the only team who kept a clean sheet this weekend. Sunderland winning 1-0 away to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, of course, it's Sunderland's most top flight points at this stage in the season since 1967, 1968, and they've just been really fucking good. Like, I don't think this game had much in it for them, like going forward. If I'm being honest, they got the
Yeah,
goal from a very odd free kick. Would you say?
yeah. Let's talk about that decision then, because I don't think it's a foul. Like, I
I
think
thought it was
Minguez wins the ball and clips, and his foot through in the follow through clips the. I can't remember who the Sunderland player was, but
it was
yeah, I
Hume.
don't think it's a foul. Hume, that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a foul. And as soon as it was given, I knew that they were going to score from it.
But okay, I didn't. It took me like three watches because firstly I was like half watching, half not watching it, and it was like, oh, okay, that's a free kick to Forest, and I was like, wait a minute, fucking Sunderland have scored from free kick for Forest. What's happened? And then yeah, it's so he's booked him for diving, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like gone through him, and it's madness. It's like it's the weirdest free kick, weirdest decision ever from the ref. Like if I was Forest fans, I'd be fuming, like absolutely raging off my head.
It feels like one of those that like things aren't going well for Forest at the moment. Like no wins in five for Ange. There was obviously all the Nuno stuff at the start of the season. Like it feels like one of those that when you're down, when the chips are down, like this just sort of decision goes against you, and then of course you concede from it because it's just like typical. Like that's just the football gods laughing
Yeah,
at you kind of thing.
but also it was their own fault for being in this situation,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was dreadful defending from the free kick as well.
Oh
Like,
yeah, awful defending. Like there's no one near Alderete. Like it's a nice cross from Xhaka, but Alderete's got a free header, and that yeah, he's just Sells has just got no chance,
yeah, it goes through cells because there's so much power on the header. Like
and it's
saying,
so close to him.
yeah, it's way too close. Like, also another assist for Xhaka, just proven to be a solid signing for Sunderland. But like I said, it's hard to feel for us because they've just firebomb their own season, and you're just there every time. Like, you don't really need to be in this position. But to be fair to them, they were knocking a door down like throughout the game. I mean, they didn't have a shot on target until the 68th minute, I think it was. But they
Yeah,
had lots of chances. I think it was something like 22 chances by the end of the game.
well, they had loads of the ball and created loads of chances, or like almost like half chances, really, because they weren't put like as you say, they weren't getting them on target. Roofs was stepping up for Sunderland. Like I
He
think
is he's
like
on
he's been more,
fire.
and an amazing signing, and also probably the least heralded of their signings because like he's probably the most unknown to a lot of fans. Like they signed a lot of quite flashy names, but Roofs wouldn't have been one that a lot of football fans were aware of. So like he's come in and done absolutely brilliantly, but yeah, he probably wasn't tested enough from Forest point of view. Like
Oh no, he had a couple of big saves. One from Wood that was
yeah,
kind of
but
straight
like
at him, and
late
then the
on.
Eagle one that was like in going into the corner, he got across. I mean, I want to say it looked more theatrical than it was, but he did have scrambled across his goal to get there. Like,
Yeah, no, he stepped up, but it was I meant more from like a Forest point of view, like the amount
okay.
of ball that they had and stuff. Like they would have been like, right, we should be peppering this goal, like rather than creating these half chances. And then like Chris Wood, he's got the goal jitters.
He
Like
definitely has,
not
yeah.
to say I've put a hex on him, but you know, this isn't the Chris Wood we saw last season. Yeah, what I spotlighted before Ange came took charge, Zinchenko getting the game and playing that sort of inverted left back role, coming into midfield, dominate, getting an extra person in the midfield to dominate the ball, but it's not enough for Forest. Like, and they keep like they've either like the as I say, no wins in five for Ange. They conceded late on in the Europa League to Betis to drop that game to a draw. Like there were boos from the crowd at the end of this game. It's the vibes aren't right.
No, they're not. But they're not, it's. I don't want to sound like a salty Palace fan against Forest, but it just feels like their own fault. Everything was.
Well, it's a Marinakis problem in it.
Yeah,
It's not that it's not Forest fans.
no, it's
Like
not Forest fans' fault. No, I didn't mean it
from
like
like a
that.
West Ham fan point of view, it's like yeah, this is our owner being like
Yeah,
reckless and
it's
playing with us like as fans.
it's beyond reckless to like think where Forest were say 2 seasons ago to then have like the best season ever last season to be in Europe and then just to be like okay, fuck it, we're just gonna throw our toys out of the pram really about a manager who has done the business for us. It's just yeah, it's not a great situation for him at all. And the longer it goes on without a win, the worse it's going to look. Then what happens if they have to then get rid of Ange? Like it's real shitter then after all that. Like
I mean, the way it's going, it feels like one of them historic seasons where you have like 3 or 4 managers in charge, like one of them relegation candidate seasons. Like Forest have plenty of quality; they can turn things around with the amount of quality in their squad. But you know, the vibe, like the signs don't look good right now.
no, they don't. I'm being very doom and gloom about Frost, but it's hard to comprehend sometimes. And yeah, like we said, the fans getting jittery last year when it was getting close to maybe getting Champions League football. Now, just maybe just getting mid-table, they're not going to be happy enough with that. Like football fans aren't going to go from one extreme to the other very well and be happy about it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you as you can hear from the boos in this game, like they're already voicing their concerns because I think there's a lot of those fans who didn't want to see Nuno go and they're not happy with the replacement. So, you know, it's not like at West Ham, for example, just because we're the other team that's changed our manager. There was no like we were majority of the fans were ready to change our manager. Majority of these Forest fans probably weren't ready to change.
No, I can 100% agree with you on that one. But yeah, I just want to give props more to Sunderland though. Like, absolutely, like grinding the game out. They,
Hmm.
I made a note like they can defend, but it's like they can almost last ditch defend very well. Because against us, when they came to Selhurst Park, it was a lot of last ditch defending that worked out. In this game, it seemed to be a load of it as well. I don't really know how would you describe that as just good defending, or would you good recovery defending? I don't really know how to describe it.
It's incredibly passionate
Yeah,
defending.
there we go.
They've got good players. Like don't get me wrong, but it is putting your body on the line, like doubling up on wingers, like getting anything on to stop the cross, kind of thing. It's like not let, but then when it does get through, they've got like roofs has stepped up as we said, sort of thing. So like they're just defending great as a team at the moment, I would say, and like
Yeah,
Jacques is obviously leading that charge. And when you see your captain putting in crunching tackles and you putting his body on the line, it influences the whole squad. And I think this is one that probably won't live long in the memory for Sunderland fans, but you know, I'm almost at the point of saying when they stay up at the end of the season
well,
because it doesn't feel as much of an if at this
I
point.
was going to
Maybe
say
at the
that.
start that this is one that they'll look at and go, that was a massive result away from home, 3 points, clean sheet. Like that was a proper platform builder. Like they've had much more entertaining wins so far this season, but this is one that goes down as a proper like banker.
Yeah, I was going to say that to you as well, because I think a lot of people I speak to seem to think, oh, it's just a phase, like Sunderland will drop off. But even if they do drop off now, they're third of the way to the points they need to stay up. Like, that's, even if it's a flash in the pan, it's so much towards what you need. You've got so many games left in the tank to get those remaining points. And you say it'll be maybe a forgettable one for Sunderland fans. I don't think it will be for people out there, because it's their first away win of the season as well.
Mm-hmm.
First away win in the Premier League for God knows how many years now. Obviously, having not been in and been to the depths of League One and everything. So I'm really impressed with Sunderland. I think I really wanted to talk about them when we got the 0-0 against Palace, because I saw so much of it. But I'm happy they've continued that form on, in all honesty.
Yeah. All right. I think we should move on to Chelsea 1, Brighton 3, I think.
Yeah, this was a bit of a crazy game, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, if just to sum the game up in a sentence, like Chelsea seemed to be battering them in the first half. Big Trev then gets the red, and Brighton turn around and just batter Chelsea for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one to call, because like Chelsea were 1-0 up, then the sending off, and then Brighton absolutely dominated 10 men, and it's like that is as much as you can ask of them to do in the game situation. Like that, like there are times where teams find it hard to open up 10 men, and to score 3 goals is very impressive. So it's kind of like, well, with the game situation, that is as best as you could do, Brighton. But they were second best in the first half, and the defensive issues cropped up again with Chelsea's goal. Like Van Hecke gets completely drawn out of centre-back position, and that's exactly where, like, the right centre-back slot is exactly where Enzo ghosts into and heads home. Like, it's like it's just the defensive issues that have cropped up earlier in the season. Even in this one that was obviously turned around into a positive result, is still there causing issues.
Yeah, mate, 100% that. Like, it's crazy to think with Brian, but I made the note, like, I think if there's a team you don't want to be 10 men get down against in this league, it's Brighton, with basically what they've got on the wings and what they can do to you up front. Like, that Minter, when he's running at you and you're one man down, it wasn't good watching if you're a Chelsea fan, I don't think, because it was brutal, just getting in behind, causing them on a turn constantly. Like, it's not what you want at all, and especially losing a centre back as well with the pace of Chalobah.
Yeah, and Minter's fast becoming one of my favourite players to watch in the league. Like, such an exciting winger. He's putting it together as well this season, where I think like last season he showed sort of more flashes. But so he started the season absolutely on fire. Like, I think he absolutely should have had a penalty in this one.
I was going to say, he got
hoofed him.
Like, you wouldn't expect a Palace fan to be saying this, and I was like, when I saw it, it's like, oh, it's going to be those ones where he doesn't touch him and he's gone down. What a cheat! And then I watched it, I was like, fucking hell, he's kicked him in the head. Like,
He's hoofed him right in the head.
How is it not given on VR? Go to it and still don't give it. It's scandalous, almost.
I have no idea. How that one wasn't given. It looked absolutely stonewall from my point of view. Like,
it was mental. But yeah, I also want to touch on Danny Welbeck's header for the first one. And I mean, both his finishes. The one for the header is a really like intelligent header back across the goal, and then the one for the third goal is a really like acute finish, whilst like going a pace off balance just to chip it into the top left corner.
Yeah, the man is aging like fine wine, but he's been doing this for a while. So that makes it 16 straight Premier League seasons that Danny Welbeck has scored in.
That's mad, isn't it? Yeah, 16.
16 of his 18. So he scored in his first season where he only played like 3 games for Man United, and then he didn't score the next season where again he only played a couple of games as he was a very young player, but after that, he's scored at least once every season since. So, yeah, that guy Welbeck has just proven that age is just a number at this point. Like, he finally broke his sort of 10 goal drought, like getting that to that landmark last season, and he started this season fairly well, especially also given Brighton signed a couple of young strikers that they'll obviously be looking to replace him with in the long term, but experience can be completely invaluable and prove to be today. And then also just a shout out to De Kuyper for getting his goal as well. Like he's a interesting young signing from Club Brugge, and yeah, I'm excited to see more of him. Good on him for getting a goal.
I mean, he's just one of those many Brighton players that I'm just going to be there at the end of the season. Like, who the fuck was that, and how has he been so good? Like, it's just that over and over again. But we did say, like, we expected Brighton, this would be the game where they won this season, playing against their, what would you call Chelsea? Not their second team, their...
Yeah, well, well, Brighton are technically the feeder club, but to be honest, it's probably worked out better for Brighton. Like,
it's weird. They're not their rejects. They're like, I don't know how you describe it. Like,
I don't know. They just slap £100 million like on them, and then Chelsea are like, yeah, and then Brighton invest that throughout a bunch of other talent that will be rated £100 million,
and then beat them each season. It's crazy. To be fair, it's their second ever win at Stamford Bridge, but I mean, and their first away points of the season. But I wanted to pick up, like, this is one we expect them to win. I think they're going Wolves next week. That's the one where you think, is Brighton going to actually get their season going now? Or are they going to see that as another banana skin and probably end up drawing or losing that one? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they kind of generally turn up in the big moments at the moment. So Brighton fans will be desperately wanting them to get the wins against the less fancy sides as well. But yeah, that's all I got on that one.
All same here. Cool. Let's move on to the early kickoff then on Saturday, the Brentford Man United one, which I hope I got some abuse from Brentford fans for my predictions of 3-0 in Bremo. I don't know why I did it. I think I was just so tired and deluded by the end of it. I should have obviously thought, like, everyone's taking points off United, but I think the style Brentford did it in was just really well done. They put United to the sword. I don't think United really deserved to even have one goal in this game. Sorry, I forgot to say score 3-1. Like, mistake from Galore for the United goal, but Brentford's 3 goals were all pretty great. The first one I saw it and I was like, he shanked that, I think, a bit for it to go into. Well, Thiago shanked it a bit to go into the top corner. But what would you say?
Well, I think it was a picture perfect Route 1 goal.
Yeah,
but I do think there was a foul in the build up from Coyote. Like, I think he kind of like is pretty like heavy on like in nudging the United player off the ball, but it wasn't given, so we move on. Long ball from Henderson that was very picturesque, and then I think Thiago's probably shanked it a little bit, but I do think he is just gone, I'll hit this as hard as possible, get it on target, and it's against United, it's more likely to go in than not, really. But yeah, this was a massive win for Keith Andrews. Like, I know a lot's been like we've discussed it and stuff. I know everyone's sort of saying, like, is the job too big for him, sort of thing. Like, how are Brentford going to get on under him? So to get this win at home against a pretty bad Man United team, who I'm shocked aren't looking for a new manager.
Nah.
I'm sure they can sign Graham Potter if they want, but
I don't like this word about Glasner going there. I really hope Glasner isn't that stupid. Like, why'd you leave a European giant like Palace to go to a team that's not in Europe like United?
Money. I'm sure it's more than the packet of peanuts that Palace are offering him.
For real. But yeah, what do you think of the red for Bruno? Well, what should have been a red, I think, for Bruno when he's just gone in over the. I can't remember who it is, but he's like kicked the geezer in the knee pretty much in the air. It's just like, I think, who is it? Similar to what Souček went for you guys a few weeks ago.
Oh, that one. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as Souček's.
No,
it's on the verge, I think, but like, I mean,
okay,
it's Bruno. They're never going to give that.
Then what about the second red card then? Which was, there were no red cards, but the second appeal for it, the Bremo one.
The penalty?
Yeah, the penalty.
Yeah, that one as well. I'm even kind of unsure that it's even a penalty.
Really?
Like,
nah, you got to penalty.
Like, I think it is, but then I'm also like, it's not that bad, is it? Like,
I don't know. Like,
I think it's a very small tug.
It's a small tug, but he does stop him.
Red card. I don't think it should have been a red card as well as a penalty. Like, I thought that feels like double jeopardy.
No, but double jeopardy only makes sense if the player's trying to play the ball. That's what double jeopardy is.
Yeah,
And he's not
but
tried to play the ball there. He's just yanked him back a bit. I mean,
I think you get the penalty. I don't think it's a red
no,
card foul.
I think you get both.
If he's on a yellow, then fine. But like I don't think it's a red card foul.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good save from Gallagher for the penalty. But
Who's Gallagher?
I don't. I
You
fucking
mean Kelleher?
Gallagher. Yeah, I keep fucking.
You
I
keep
always
saying
get.
Gallagher. Is it because he's Irish? Like,
Yeah, I just get always mixed up in my head. It's so fucking stupid. But yeah, it's a great save from him from the penalty, and it just brings a smile to your face to see like all things like this going against United after so many years of it going like right for them and them getting everything they ever wanted. It really makes your soul feel warm. How
yeah, and
bad
they're pressing for what they think is going to be a late equaliser, and then Jensen just storms up the other end of the pitch and smashes one home. Like it's just like perfect icing on the cake from Jensen. Brentford fans can like relax for the last couple of minutes. Like as I said, it was a massive win for Keith Andrews and Brentford. They dominated in the air in this one. Like they were physical, they were strong. Like they bullied United about a bit.
they
Like
really did, didn't they? Like,
they took the game to them as well. Like Thiago stepping up this season, where like he's obviously originally the replacement for Ivan Toney. Like now he's got to step up and replace Visser and Mbuemo's goals. So and like he's doing it pretty well as well. But yeah, Andrews got him playing a physical style of football, and it might be enough to keep him up.
yeah, I think they've got it going finally. Like that, we did say we worried a little bit, didn't we, at the beginning of the season because it was a bit rough. But I don't think we're ever worried about relegation for Brentford, were we? It was just more like what they really going to get from the season, and it looks like they could get a bit out of it. But yeah, anything else you want to touch on that game?
No, let's head to Villa Park.
Nice, Villa Park. So early goal from Jimenez to make it 1-0 Fulham, and then then Villa take the game away from Fulham really with one goal from McGinn and one goal from Watkins and two very quick goals, one from McGinn and one from Bieda.
Do you mean Buendia?
Yeah. Mate,
You're
I'm
having
all
a
over
right
the
way
place.
with names today, mate.
I'm hopeless with names. Like it's dreadful. But yeah,
Let's start with the Fulham side of things because they got things going early. Like I think like one thing like Jimenez getting the goal this week, really nice flicked header. Like I'm personally quite jealous of Fulham's attacking options because it seems like every week either Jimenez or Muniz are scoring, and like they're different enough players so that Marco Silva can play one of the other depending on the game situation. But they can also, and then they come on and change things, like give the defense something different to think about. I'd absolutely love both of them in my squad, so I think they're top quality. But the main player for Fulham for me in this one who actually just like was screaming out was Josh King in this game.
Do you think he's got a bit of a reputation with refs now for diving?
Unfortunately, so like I do think like this is what back-to-back weeks where he's had a yellow card for simulation. Like he's just like it's a young player, and I think he's just doing things that maybe he got away with at academy level, and he's not getting away with it in the scrutiny of the Premier League. Like the problem is he was so like majestic with the ball. He was making everything that was good for Fulham was coming through Josh King in the early part of this game, and then it's just like I don't think these are outrageous dives that he's doing. I think he's anticipating contact and going over before it comes, and obviously like that is technically a dive, but like I think the contact is going to come.
Yeah,
he's just anticipating it.
Do you think this one was a definite dive? Then is that what you're saying? I think it was
I think it's harsh. Like
it's harsh,
but I do think. But this is the one where it might be a sign that he's getting a reputation. Like he got one last week that was a definite dive.
Yeah.
This one is like okay, this is probably becoming a case of having a reputation.
Do you think it's easy for refs to do that because he's a young player and they're not really worried about any backlash? Whereas if it was a more experienced player, like longer in the Premier League, they'd be like, "Oh, we'll probably think about it," rather than just because it was a pretty quick decision from the ref as well, just to be like, "Yeah, definitely a yellow card."
Yeah, probably, and it's probably and maybe it's one of those that you give him enough early and then he irons it out of his game, sort of thing. Like that's what I'd be hoping for because from a player point of view, he's been absolutely sensational in the early part of this season. For such a young player to come in and just look completely comfortable in attacking areas with the ball, like making things happen, like he already looks absolutely key to this Fulham side, and like kind of replaced that Emil Smith Rowe in that like attacking midfield kind of role. Like I'd be playing Josh King every week at the moment over Smith Rowe. So yeah, I'd like to see him iron those out. But I guess let's go to Villa because they did get the goals. Like I know this wasn't the one where they hadn't scored before, but it almost felt like when McGinn missed that one that it was going to be another one of those days.
That was a shocking miss, wasn't it? I was going to say that was a shocking miss for him, but he made up with it with a like stunner of a strike in the second half. But then just touch on the Watkins goal first. Like it's a great little lob over the keeper from a long ball, but Anderson,
I think he almost misses it. I think it's a really rusty Watkins because I think he scored this goal against Southampton, was it, at the end of last season?
He scored this goal a lot. He's definitely scored a goal like this against Palace.
He chipped, and I think it was more of an angle, but that one dropped perfectly into there. This one's about a yard away from hitting the crossbar. Like I think this was evident that he hadn't scored in 9 games because this was not as sublime and like as picture perfect as he would have wanted it to be, I don't think. But
Jesus Christ, you really want to be picky, don't you? Really want to be that guy. Mate, I think
the back of the net. They all count the same. And it ended the drought.
You got to think it's just instinctive. It's an instinctive finish, and that's probably what he needed more than anything to get that goal as well. Just like not thinking too much, just hit the ball, goes over, gets in. But I just want to touch on Joachim Anderson, like getting stuck in no man's land for the goal for Fulham. Like I've seen him do that 100 times for Palace, and it's just like, I feel for him a bit there, but he did also want to go for the big bucks at Fulham, and they might be ruining that extra long deal for him. But and then moving on to the McGinn goal in the second half, just an absolute stunner. Like I think I've seen him score this goal quite a few times for Villa, but you just love how it's like rockets into the bottom left corner. It doesn't always have to get top bins to be a good one, does it?
It's beautiful. It's like just outside of the boot kind of thing because it's got like that inward curve, and it's just like it was a really nice like daisy cutter kind of finish. And then Buendia gets a scrappy one a few minutes later, and it's like that's the kind of thing that all right, maybe things have turned around for Villa now because they weren't scoring that scrappy one in the first 4 games of the season. So like that maybe this is a sign that all right, they broke through. They've got the goal. The goals are coming now for Villa. They can maybe start to actually turn this around this season. It's still early days, so is this a flash in the pan or is this something to build on going forward?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Fulham never really looked like getting back into it, apart from the one goal line clearance from Konza towards the end of the game, which that was a brilliant goal line clearance from him.
Yeah, I think that's more a case of Villa being a bit nervy late on them necessarily. Fulham. Like it was good press to put to make Martinez make a mistake, but I don't think Fulham were sort of pressing too hard to get back into this one. And great clearance off the line from Ezri Konsa. Yeah,
cool. And then did you see the Constantia? That's close. I'm going to get to his fucking name for it. Foul on Dino at the end.
Oh, Constantia.
Yeah, Constantia. Mate, I don't know. My brain is just not working with names right now. Yeah, do you see the challenge at the end?
I didn't know.
No, it looked like another act, but it probably wasn't for me, so not much to talk about on that. Anything else you want to talk about, or move on to your team's trip to the Hill Dickinson?
Nah, let's go. Let's crack on.
I was going to say we're at 40 minutes and we're probably only halfway through the games. Fucking hell. Sorry, listeners, this is a bit of a whistle stop for tour for them all. So how did you feel about your team's performance? I think you're still fucked, if I'm being brutally honest. Juve looked really good for you, but there's a lot I think that needs to turn around for West Ham to be feeling a bit safer about everything.
Well, I disagree. Like, I don't think it was perfect. You're never going to get perfect when the managers had 2 days to change things around. But there was still the old cobwebs. The goal we conceded is just poor defending. Like that's the old like let's we're sitting back in defence, sort of switched off a little bit, and Michael Keane just ghosts in completely unmarked and heads home. Like that's the old cobwebs of what was happening week in, week out after under Graham Potter still being shaken off. But in general, I thought we were better defensively than we had been for weeks now. We grew into the game as well. Like Everton had their chances, but we like in the towards after about 10 so minutes in the second half, I thought we were the better team for about 25-30 minutes and created the better chances. There's the Somerville one that Pickford just gets a little toe on and diverts that wide. Like obviously got the goal. I think we were pressing at that point. And yeah, the Diouf Somerville combo on the left looks absolutely frightening. Once Diouf
they were running Jacob Bryan ragged down that side at points.
Once Diouf got settled in the game, he was just like up and down like a racehorse, like just go like zooming past Somerville, and Jacob Bryan was just seeing fits at times because he just couldn't keep up with him at all.
And Dye wasn't helping him in one little bit, and he's just there like he needs some fucking help there.
And Dye didn't fancy that after because he started doing it pretty well like in the game, and Dye was getting back and making challenges. I think by that point, and Dye was like, I'm done running 60 yards back towards my own goal at the pace that Diouf is running.
But we all knew Diouf had that in his locker, didn't we? It's just if you're going to be able to use that more. But I don't know why. Maybe I'm being biased towards my hatred of you, but it's just like maybe I expected a bit more from a new manager bounce. I know it's only been 2 days, but I don't know. I just expected more from the performance altogether. I guess stopping the rut's the best thing you could have hoped for. Somerville.
Yeah, I mean, we have to remember this is a tough place to go. Like Everton, like Moyes has got them a well-drilled machine. Like I don't think Everton fans will be particularly happy about their performance last night. I think they feel like they probably could have done a lot more given but again, they didn't know exactly what was going to turn up with West Ham, how much Nuno's effect would take charge, sort of thing. Like I'm sure they probably didn't expect James Ward-Prowse to just completely not be in the squad. Like that kind of thing maybe throws them off a little bit. And they played well in the first half, and they came out in the second half really quickly. Like they looked really good for sort of 5-10 minutes, but then West Ham got into it. And then late on, Everton were pushing for it, and we kind of saw Nuno do something that he did quite often at Forest, where he puts an extra defender on and just protects what we have, sort of thing.
The last 2 minutes, bringing 2 defenders on.
Yeah, which I understand it. In this game, stopping the rot was the main thing. Like I was really happy with a point. Like away from home, just the way the things have been going for us this season. Yes, it would have been nice to not concede that goal, but at least we only conceded one of them, and our heads didn't drop, where like in previous weeks we've conceded one of those goals and then we've conceded 3-4 more of those goals. So there was no Moyes revenge game in this one. We got away from that because I know he looked like he wanted his Everton team to go on and win that game. Like obviously he does, but like I feel like this one there was a little bit of get one over on West Ham in his eyes.
Yeah, and I think he was annoyed. Everton fans were annoyed, and Juicy Hall were definitely annoyed with our mate Sam Barrett at the end. I've not seen a player flip out so much at a referee as Juicy Hall did at the end.
Yeah, he probably should have got a second yellow for his.
I think he should have got a second yellow.
We've seen players get yellow cards for their reactions, and there'd be a lot less than that. I think if he had been previously on a yellow card,
he would have been done for
reacted like that. He would have been off because I understand it. Like he was frustrated, but it was a foul.
Yeah, only Sam Barrett can make someone that angry. My last thing I want to touch on that game is I want you to try and convince me and our listeners how Mavropanos is a Premier League defender, because
he's not. He never has been. But the problem is, if you asked like AI or like someone to create you the physical prototype of a centre back, they would show you Mavropanos as a physical specimen. He is like this big Greek. His head looks like he looks like a Greek Harry Maguire, like head like a slab head kind of situation. Like he is the archetype of what you would look at as a centre back. But he just has brain farts all the time. Like it's just like a monkey clapping a cymbal going on upstairs, unfortunately. So it's one of those that like you see his name on the team sheet, you almost know he's going to do something. Like he's going to switch off at some point, or he's going to make some sort of rash decision. And yeah, like he did in this one, and he almost did it a couple of times.
Yeah, I saw a couple in there. I was like, fuck, they got away with a couple there. But yeah, I think that's the last I wanted to touch on that. Like, I guess it's not a lot for either team to really take. Well, I guess big few stopping her up, but Everton really just, I guess, want to move on from, and then look forward to taking us on next Sunday.
Hey, first team to score away at the Hill Dickinson.
Yeah, Jared Bowen, first player
Jared Bowen and Jared Bowen was the first. I don't know if anyone has ever done this in history before, but he scored the last goal against Nuno's Forest and also the first goal for Nuno's West Ham.
I am certain someone's done that before to a
must
manager.
have, right? But for it to have happened so soon after each other is kind of funny.
That is pretty good.
Little nice thing.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, let's move on.
Cool. Move on to Leeds Bournemouth. Was this 2-2? Another last minute winner in this one. I just think it's crazy that this match ended up being last on Match of the Day on Saturday. It kind of showed how much good football we were given over the weekend.
Yeah, I was watching this one live at my mate's house in Leeds, as he's a Leeds fan, and you know this one was really exciting, like back and forth. But Leeds dominated this, especially in the second half. Like they were the absolute much better team, and they kind of just got done by not putting the game away. Like in the first half, Calvert-Lewin should have had a hat-trick.
I was going to say, he's getting the chances now, at least. Like, so as long as you're getting chances, like, the goals will come, but he should have had a hat-trick, you're right.
But this is what I've said about him previously. Like, he's like that kind of just that level of frustrating that, like, he should have had at least one of these. Like, okay, he had a hat-trick of really good chances. You need your number 9 to be putting one of those away. And if he puts one of them away, then Leeds probably comfortably see out this game.
Yeah, but it's better than not getting any chances, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get what you mean. Like he's getting in the right place, the chances are falling to him.
I've lived with so many bad strikers at Palace, and like even through the Benteke goal drought, it's like, well, at least he's getting into positions for it. If he's not, then you know he's really shit. I mean, you've dealt with enough strikers where they're not even getting into positions to do it.
Yeah, about 56 of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like he should have got one, but then. Is it Semenyo who gets the first goal in this game, doesn't he?
Yeah, from the free kick with the old draft excluder.
The draft excluder not working is amazing, isn't it? We've gone full circle.
It's like I don't know. I haven't looked at the angles in credit like a lot to be like, oh, Aronson should actually be a couple of inches lower. Like he's probably just about right, but or you need someone taller than Aronson because Semenyo just absolutely blasts that, completely goes past the draft excluder and into the back of the net.
It's a funny goal to watch, actually, because you just don't see him anymore, do you? It's kind of nice to see that draft excluder not work.
Yeah. It's become such a vogue thing over the last few years of football to put someone down there. So it's like it's kind of nice it's a bit old school to see it not work. Like just go under the wall still.
Yeah. Do you think it was a free kick for the that goal though, or do you think it was a bit soft?
I think it was a bit soft.
Yeah, it was.
Like, yeah, I think it was a bit soft, but yeah. And then Leeds get back into it. Joe Rodon header that has the smallest deflection off Semenyo's head, but just absolutely completely does Petrovic. Like,
yeah. I mean, it doesn't big time because I think Petrovic is probably getting to it, and then that takes it away from him, doesn't it? But then I want to talk about the Longstaff goal, if I'm being honest, because it's an absolute perler, isn't it?
Oh, I think he's completely shanked it.
Really?
Yeah. He's in my mind, he is 100% meaning to go back across goal. He's got his foot like over. He's trying to get laces on it, like, and he's trying to like take it back to where it came from. Go far corner. I absolutely don't think he's trying to shank that. I think he's shanked it into the near corner. It's like the ball where the ball was traveling quite fast and traveling across. So for him to have actually got it nailed on, like back to where it came from, he would have had to time it perfectly. And I think the timing was a second out, and it skims off his boot. And I think that's why Petrovic is just completely dumbfooted, because I don't think he's expecting it to go essentially near post. And it almost looked like it went out of play, especially in real time. It was like it came off his boot, and it was like, where's the ball gone? Like it ballooned to the corner. Like I don't think he's meant that at all.
Okay, we'll take a break there just so I can watch this again, because I want to be critical on this.
You can try and argue it if you want, but you know I'm right.
Okay, I don't know where I'm going to cut back in, if I've cut back in already or not, but I don't know. I think he may have tried to slice it across the ball and it's worked.
You think he's meant to slice it into the top corner, come off the post, and
no, I don't think he's mean to come off the post, but the way he's do you think he's completely mistimed it and he swazzed it in by accident?
100%.
Oh,
And it's done wonders. Like it's got the end result is all that matters. But I don't think he's meant to slice that into the top corner.
I'm gonna
The way it comes off his boot, that is a risky shot. If he's meant that, that's insane. Like that is a risky shot to do.
That's why I was a perler, mate. That's why I was absolutely perler. It's like gave the goalie the eyes and swazzed it into the top corner. Banana did it.
Yeah, Longstaff, known for his swazzing abilities. I'm sure he's practiced that a lot.
Mate, doing it every session, beginning to end. That's all he's been doing.
Give me another one that's really fast across me, and I'll swing my boot at it.
But no, then Leeds just can't hold on to it, can they?
Well, the problem is they just went defensive late on. Like this didn't feel like Bournemouth were going to come back into it. Like there was no building of pressure. They had the ball, but they were just sort of going through the motions in attack. And then Leeds brought on a defender. Like they just sort of they really went, let's shut up shop, and they didn't have that. Like they kind of just asked for the conceding, and I know like we just talked about West Ham going like defensive late on, but you do ask for a bit of trouble. But you would have thought that the fact that they brought on defenders, that they wouldn't have left Kroupi so wide open for the goal. Like it's a nice finish.
It's a very nice finish. Like it's very like intelligent finish to be able to get his leg up and put it there. So yeah, but.
Like, where's the defense? Like, there's no one near him. Like, and it's like the 94th, 95th minute. Like you have to have like you're marking a free kick. I think it was like you've got to be more aware than that.
Just lapse of conversation. Yeah, lapse of conversation at the end. Like see it enough times, and that win would have been huge for Leeds. In all honesty, like
exactly.
That would have been such a good thing for him. Would have taken him nearly into the top half. Well, into the top half of the table. So yeah, they'll be
one player I do just before we move on. I want to give flowers to Goodmanson, the left back for Leeds. Like he was an absolute dog in this game. Like the build up to Longstaff's goal, he's like half bent over on the floor, like he's scrapping with the Bournemouth defenders, and he just gets his head up and keeps the play moving, sort of thing. And he was just up and down the left flank all day for Leeds. I know we spotlighted his funny own goal a couple of weeks ago, so he performed really well in this one, so I wanted to call him out.
Yeah, definitely give him some flowers for that. Cool. And then do you want to move on to the 8:00 kickoff on Saturday? Was it Spurs Wolves 1-1? I think absolute heartbreak for Wolves.
Yeah, I think we can start going a bit quick with these ones because I don't think this was a good performance from Wolves, but they almost had it. Like they get the scrappy goal again that was definitely against the runner play from Bueno, and that goal kind of gave them confidence for about 10-15 minutes afterwards. They looked like they were creating chances, and late on they just
shit the bed.
I guess they just they're so desperate for these points that they kind of just like got sucked in a bit towards their own goal. And Palhinha, it's a nice goal from Tottenham, but like Palhinha's just got the space on the edge of the box to kind of place it where he wants, and it's not really anyone closing him down quick enough.
Yeah,
but
I mean
that's what happens when your chips are down and you're like rock bottom of the league, 0 points, and you almost get 3, but you take 1.
I mean, you take 1 away at Spurs Saturday night as well. Like you would. I mean, Victor Pereira with 9 changes in the squad as well, so trusting the people that did well for him in midweek. Like I say, scrappy goal for Wolves, tidy goal from Tottenham at the end. Bellegarde looked good for Wolves throughout the game, I think, and maybe this is where they've stopped the rot and they could maybe move forward with their season. But yeah, I mean, if they had 3 points, say it would have been big for Leeds, it would have been monumental for Wolves just to get themselves a bit closer to a bit closer to 17th and a bit closer to getting out of relegation zone.
Yeah, there was an incredible save from Sam Johnston in this one against Kudus from like 2 yards out when it was still 0-0, and it was just like, wow, how has he even saved that?
Sam Johnston's got that in his locker. I still feel sorry for him going to Wolves and then basically just sitting on the bench for the last 2 seasons. I think maybe this might be his chance to like solidify his place there and just show like, oh, I can do this. I can give the team more support from the back. So yeah, fingers crossed for them. But yeah, I don't think too much more really to talk on. We're at the hour mark already, so people probably want us to shut up at this point.
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of defeats now, so let's run through them. So we'll start off with Newcastle's 2-1 defeat to Arsenal. Volta Messi getting on the score sheet in this one.
Yeah, I think it was a good header for him to get the first goal, putting it back across the keeper. But then I feel off that. I was watching this one for work as well, and I just feel like Newcastle, to me, maybe I'm wrong, but it felt like Newcastle wanted to grasp defeat from the jaws of victory at times. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. Like, I think this one was all a bit too much about Nick Pope.
yeah,
Like he was involved way too much in this one. Like he was keeping them in it for a long time. Like there's the penalty decision that is just gets his toe on. Otherwise, it's a stonewall penalty.
I can't believe VAR didn't get that to Arsenal, if I'm being honest. Like,
Yeah,
I was certain, like, yeah, it's Arsenal, of course they're going to get this. And he does get. Do you think he gets his toe on it and it makes a difference and it's not a pen?
yeah. I mean, he's got the ball first, and I'm glad that they've seen
No,
it
he
that way.
didn't get the ball first. The ball got knocked onto him.
Well, okay, but his touched the ball first. Like,
No, he
okay,
touched the ball second, though. That's
well, no, like he touched the ball. Like the ball, he touched the ball before he touched the man.
yeah, but he doesn't really move where the ball's going too much either. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, it's not like he's made a reflex to like, but he's got big and he's blocked he's essentially blocked the pass or the touch from the attacker.
Yeah, but the attacker's probably still going to get to the ball, and then he's taking him out.
Okay, but he's blocked it.
But he's
And
taking.
he can't move. He can't move from that point of view.
Mate, if you kick the ball onto me and I touch it away a tiny bit, and you're still going to get it, then I kick you. You going to be happy with that?
Well, he didn't kick him. He was just there.
Mate, I don't want the goal. I don't want the penalty to be given to Arsenal, but I feel like if that happened to me, I'd be there like I want the pen for that.
Yeah, probably. But like, I do think it's the right decision, even if I would be up in arms if it was against me. But I think it's the right decision.
I'm just overjoyed that the decisions are going against the big six teams.
Yeah, it's refreshing. And yeah, back to Nick Pope. Like as I say, he kept them in it, saved loads of shots, but then at the end of the day, he just lost his head a bit for that second goal. Like he collects the ball, and as he comes down with it, he gets nudged by an Arsenal player, but then he takes a couple of steps, kicks the ball, and kind of slips as he kicks, but there's no one near him. And then once the goal goes in, he's complaining to the ref that he's pointing at his arm. I can only imagine he's talking about when he collected the ball that he was sort of pushed off it, and that should have been like. But he still had collection of the ball. He still didn't have to kick it straight to an Arsenal player. Like it felt like he kind of lost his head at that moment, and
it was a weak moment. Like that's the only way I put it. I thought it was a throw rather than a kick. In all honesty, like because it was so bad, it just goes straight to the Arsenal player. I think once that happens, I want to say the pressure that Newcastle must have felt they're under, but I can't imagine feeling that under pressure at St James's Park when you've got all your home crowd there, unless the home crowd's getting nervous with it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're going away to a city and once they get one goal and they're strangling you to like win the game. Like I don't see why they really buckled under the pressure.
I mean, I do think they were second best in this game, like throughout it, sort of thing. So maybe it was just a case of like they were just like struggling to keep up with Arsenal throughout the game. Like even the goal for Newcastle kind of comes against the run of play. Like it's a set piece that like I'm not a big fan of short corners, but it worked for this one. But then Arsenal were bossing it before that, and as we said, the Pope was keeping them in it, sort of thing. So like maybe by the end of the match, they were just struggling to keep up and keep that defensive performance up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, God for Newcastle, don't really want Arsenal doing well at all, but it's an annoying one for them. But they got to dust themselves off and go again, I guess.
Yeah, and let's head to our other defeat. This one will be very quick. Man City 5, Burnley 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what we predicted, wasn't it? I mean, we thought Burnley would get a goal, but City would get a few. I mean, got to pick out Esteve. Is that pronounced right?
I just call him Steve.
Steve, okay.
I
Steve.
think the Burnley fans have a thing, and they just call him Steve. So I think it's S Dave, but yeah, I could be completely wrong on that.
Good. Two on goals in the game. Sixth player to do that.
Yeah, we searched this one up in the pub on Saturday afternoon, and I can't remember any of the other names, but I know Craig Dawson and Jamie Carragher have had that unfortunate feat attached to their names as well.
David Dunn has to be in that as well. He has to be.
Do you mean Richard Dunn?
Yeah. Why did I say David Dunn? Fucking man. Literally from beginning to end, I've been useless with names. Absolutely useless. Oh, god damn. But yeah, apart from that, I think 5-1 maybe flatters City a bit, getting 2 goals at the end when Burnley have probably just been like, screw it, we're done.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think at 1-1 Burnley looked pretty good actually for a few minutes there, and then this just got out of hand, so they just kind of have to move on. I think we should mention Jadon Anthony. He's four goals in 5 games. He's making the step up that we were talking about.
Yeah, you went in quite detail about it at the beginning of the season, didn't you, when we were talking about Burnley, and this is kind of like, it's his time now. He's either got to do it or, well, shit will get off the pot. So
exactly,
yeah,
and he's doing it, and he's getting into threatening positions. He's getting goals. Like, yeah, I've been impressed by his start to the season. This is exactly what I wanted to see from him. So, yeah, good for him to get a goal in this game as well. Even though it ended up being a bit of a dead rubber by the scoreline.
Cool. Okay, I don't think we need to touch anything more on that. Let's take a break and go to peak Barclays.
Let's do it.
Okay, and we're back. So, Tom, who do you have for us for peak Barclays this week?
We've got a gentle giant, towering displays for Villa and Middlesbrough, a Hackney-born icon of late 90s, early 2000s top flight football. This man is proper Pete Barclays. It's Ugo Ehiogu. 355 Premier League appearances, 19 goals, 8 assists. Just an absolute icon on and off the pitch.
100%. And also the first black player ever to captain an England side as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, 1993, under 21, so he really broke down some barriers there, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think he would have got a lot more England caps if players like Sol Campbell and that weren't, like, it was a proper good time for English central defenders, so I think Ehiogu probably didn't get as many full England caps as he should have if he'd come out in another time, but proper of his era, like a dominant centre back in the 90s and early noughties, like someone that I remember watching growing up and just being sort of like really sort of astonished by, like just like, wow, that is a man mountain of a centre back.
It's so true, isn't it, though? Like, absolutely bossing the box, but then also popping up with every type of centre back goal you'd probably expect from him, weren't you?
Some of his headers in the like
Bam.
in both defensive and offensive positions is just like, it's that like meme of him just like just crashing through the window of the Kool-Aid guy, just like get your head on it, like it's so good. Like he partnershiped with former England manager Gareth Southgate, both at Villa and at Borough, and he won the League Cup with both of those teams, with Villa in '96 and Middlesbrough in 2004.
Yeah, I mean, it's great stats, isn't it, to have that much silverware to play for Villa and Middlesbrough in that era as well. Was just actually, it's quite outstanding. It shows like he must have been quite a big leader in that team to be able to go from one to the other and like redo the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the way he's spoken about by people who know him within the game and in his personal life as well is just sort of like, yeah, he's a very well revered man, and unfortunately was taken too soon. Like suffered a cardiac arrest at 44 years old, passing away. Like, I think.
Was he coaching at Spurs at the time as well?
Yeah, he was quite a hot name in the coaching world. Like he was coming through at the Spurs, coaching one of their unders teams, and yeah, he was like, everyone had high hopes for him as a coach. A lot of his former managers and players said that he was a natural. Like they knew he was going to be a coach from how he held himself and how he how he was as a player as well.
Just being a top guy all round, pretty much, isn't it?
100%, yeah. I think his passing, whilst obviously very, very unfortunate, like had a positive impact on in a nationwide sense. Like, there's obviously been a lot more sort of move to have defibrillators available, both in the game at stadiums and also sort of in the public as well. You see like all the phone boxes change, some of them changed into like defibrillator stations and stuff and that as well. And and having this resource available, so that obviously things like tragic things that can be avoided possibly with the possible with the medical equipment can be, but yeah, unfortunately taken too soon from us. But I do have a fun fact for him. He co-founded a record label that had deals with some big artists such as Wolf Alice, the 1975 B Doobie, and Pale Waves. So yeah.
That is a rogue one. I wasn't expecting that out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think I'm chalking that up to the hackney of him, because he's a Homerton born lad. That music runs through that part of the city, in their veins and everything. So yeah.
As much as I don't like East London, Homerton does have a great pub called the what was it, the Adam Meave up there with an L-shaped pool table. Spent many a time in there during my uni years, wasting a day away. Cool. Okay. Where do you want to put them on our list? Who should we put them in between?
Oh, I don't have the list up.
I should have the list somewhere.
Let's fill the music. I think he's going in above Matty Taylor.
So above Matty Taylor, between Yusuke Askalainen and Matty Taylor, do you reckon?
That's my initial thought. What do you think?
I'm going off what a top lad he is, so I think I might agree with you. I might have him under Thomas Gravesen and Yannick, between Thomas Gravesen and Yannick Bolasie. That'd be a bit harsh.
Oh.
Not too low?
I think that's too low. I think maybe between Gravesen and Taylor.
Go on then. We'll put him at number 7 then on our list?
Yes.
Nice, cool. I'll add him in for us. Nice. Okay, let's move into predictions then to round off what is, nearly been a megapod.
Yeah, let's blitz through predictions. We've got a Friday night game, Bournemouth versus Fulham.
I think 2-0 Bournemouth. I think just at the vitality on a Friday night, I think Fulham might struggle.
Yeah, interesting one. I think Bournemouth want to get a result. I think 2-1.
2-1, nice. Leeds Tottenham, 12:30 on Saturday. I think this is going to be a Leeds win, you know. I'm going to go 1-0. Big win over Tottenham Ellen Road to start Saturday off.
Yeah, I think these are going to be good, but I think probably end up a 1-1 draw.
Cool. Then your lot to go into Arsenal in the 3 o'clock.
You know what? I'm going to say we're going to do the same as last season. We're going to get a 1-0 away win.
You're fucking deluded. 5-1 Arsenal. Okay, United Sunderland.
Oh, I think Sunderland can do that. Get another away win on the bounce. I think 2-1 Sunderland.
I can't see United scoring, but I just can't see Sunderland scoring there either for some reason. Maybe I'm giving United too much credit. I'm going to go 2-0 Sunderland.
I thought you were going to say 0-0. I know you're desperate for one after today's.
No, I had energy this week, so I didn't come in complaining about all this. I was like, it's going to be long, but I weren't complaining because I've actually got some sleep this weekend.
Cool. Villa versus Burnley on the first of what feels like an actual super Sunday of there's 6 games.
But there's games in here that don't need to be on this. Like, why are Wolves Brighton?
Well, I think it's the Conference League stuff, but yeah, why's
Wolves Brighton in there?
Brighton on Sunday.
Yeah, it just feels unnecessary. But yeah, anyway, Villa Burnley. I'm gonna go 2-2. I think Villa are gonna be on an upward spiral, but I think Burnley might just cause a bit of problems with Jadon Anthony.
I think Villa at home now hopefully they've stopped the rot of the goals not being a thing for them. So I think 2-1 Villa.
Yes. One I'm going to Everton Palace. Looking forward to seeing the Hill Dickinson stadium. I'm really hoping it's not like a soulless bowl or anything like that. I don't think it will be, but I'm also going to hope they still have Scouse pies and carling on the concourse, and be gutted if it's really fancy IPAs and shit in there. It's going to really upset me because I love Goodison for all that shit. I would be happy to walk away with a 1-1 draw from this game, if I'm being brutally honest.
But when West Ham draw 1-1 with them, it's dire.
Yeah, because you are dire, mate.
No, I think I'm going to say Everton are going to inflict a first defeat on Palace.
I really don't want to.
They're going to grind out a 1-0.
I don't want it to be when I miss a game, they fucking do really well and I go back and then they just lose and this unbeaten streak goes. But yeah, Newcastle Forest, I think could be a bit damaging one for us, this 3-0 Newcastle.
But yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth. 3-0 Newcastle.
Cool. Wolves, Brighton. Banana skin for Brighton. 1-0 Wolves.
I'm gonna go Desmond. Maybe do I always predict Desmond for Brighton? I just feel like they always 2-2 just suits them for some reason. But yeah, I'm gonna go 2-2.
Okay, and then final one on Sunday, 4:30, Brentford City. Odd game for the late one on Sunday, do you think?
A little bit.
But I guess G-Tech always kind of gets rocking there whenever one of the big six turn up, and they always give them a game. I just think City are going to have too much from them, though. But I think it'll be a game of it. 3-2 City.
Yeah, I think City probably just run away with it at 3-1.
Cool. Nice. Okay, that's it for the week then. Feel free to rate and review the pod and tell your friends. Feel free to send in any voice notes or anything you feel about the games over the weekend. We'll happily play them out and discuss them. And then also follow us on socials at Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Other14FC Podcast, or email in at other14fcpodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, otherwise have a good one, Tom, and I'll catch you next week.
Nice. Cheers, man.
Sweet.